the waiting is over. Yeah. Look, they say boxing is a death sport. Ashes to ashes, like trash in the alley. Cashes is cashes, which means we could compete. As long as I got breath in my lungs and my 2 feet and a strong heartbeat, we could rumble, young man. Put the gloves in your hands. The talking is over. All that we were arguing over is over. We could sit in silence before the noise and the roars and arena doors open. Before we throw hands, we satisfy the demands. This is for the fans, my legacy, my little mans who looked up at me like that. You're about to hurt them bad. Yo, the shit is serious. The big fish and the fisherman, the old man in the sea. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we consider silence. But before you all see the violence and the bloodshed, we consider silence. Up off that? Yeah. Yes. Up off. Hey! Y'all know what day it is. Y'all know what day it is, huh? Yeah. It's Taco Tuesday. Hey, baby. What's up, my people? This is ShowBizz, don't. All right, man, look at who we have here. Sanate. Hold on. DPS player. What's going on with you? Whoops. All right, man. Lord. First I want to say this. Everybody, welcome to Taco Tuesday. Hold on. Let me see. BS, do you think the same thing that happened with Tank and Roach could happen to Ryan and Rolly since they've sparred before? No. Welcome to Taco Tuesday. Haven't done it, please close out the chat, hit the like, and give it up for the Varner Hill.
Bring on this with a laugh and do the cabbage patch. Kiss a pretty lady and then sign some autographs. The Burnell man can shaboing boing.
Hit the Tyson Bell. No, I think Ryan and Rolly is different because they sparred before long ago. I think Lamont Roach and Gervonta Tank Davis, they came up together. It's closer to Ryan and Devin Haney. It's closer to that than, if you sparred somebody once before. But coming up together, Ryan Garcia had Devin Haney's number. Hit the Tyson Bell. Okay, hold on, wait a minute. But I can give a damn what anyone has to say. We failed to give it up to the ladies.
You should let me in. You deserve. No, you deserve baby.
Hit the Tyson Bell. And wait a minute, brothers. All right.
Put it simply in here. I like surprises. I came here for prizes. Big booty and thighs is promising my guys is how I could get inside this. Stupid, I realize this, but there's so much I wanna know about you, but I don't really wanna know. That's what they say. You make it too hard for a nigga. I got you, but I got the time. Let's make it work.
Hit the Tyson Bell. And let me ask you something. Are we in the building? My man already said it. Hold on. Hell no. We not in the building. We outside.
It can happen when you're outside. You can lose a fight, see a chick, have a con with that vibe. You can ride a bike, see a nigga, and ask him if he's alright.
Hit the Tyson Bell. My man Sanate, he said, I like that lady, man. He had that Terrace House. I like that lady, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, she all right with me. And that's maximum effort. The Black Georges. Hey, why did they do that to you? Why they put the apostrophe in there? You know what you meant. Hell no. We outside in the Tyson Bell. Okay. You know what I mean? That auto shit is really ridiculous. It's killing me. It's killing me. Have you guys seen Black Mirror? Black Mirror, yo, I know it's like a Twilight Zone type of parallel universe. A lot of that stuff seems very feasible nowadays. Y'all got to check out the new Black Mirror. I binged it. Over with. Over with. Hold on, let me see. Martin face in the back cracked me up every time. 100%. I'm gonna ask you guys if you guys want me to do the grand arrivals. I think we're gonna miss a lot of it, to be honest. I planned on going on earlier so we could catch it, but I think we're gonna miss a lot of it. It already done started, so it's really up to y'all what you guys want to check out. I'm going to do the Taco Tuesday. I am going to talk Eubank versus Conor Benn. I'm definitely going to talk that, but I'm mostly going to talk about Shakur Stevenson versus Zepeda. All right, you know what I mean? Black Mirror is fire. I'm gonna tell you this. Do as much as you can. Thank you so much. And Sexy Kendra, love you, girl. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this too. Sinners. I'm not going to give anything away. I do want to say there's a scene in Sinners that is the hardest scene in cinema history. I don't give a damn what anyone says. It is the hardest scene in cinema, especially if you love music, especially if you love the culture. Sinners, there's a scene in there that is the hardest scene in cinema history. I can give a damn what anybody says. Number two, that movie is my favorite vampire movie ever. Worth the hype. It's my favorite vampire movie ever. The level of acting was tremendous. The symbolisms and it is definitely worth the hype. All right. I mean, just to let you know, you know what scene I'm talking about. 100%. Just to let you know, it got what 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. A black horror movie. Now, that's how good that is. Take it what you want. If you got a horror movie, you ain't getting 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But a black horror movie, the last black horror movie we had was like Tales from the Hood or Leprechaun in the Hood or some shit. Blackula. Now, that's how good that is. I'm talking about quality of movie. That lets you know how good that is. It's like, all right, let me get some of this black too sugar. Better than Blade. Blade ain't got shit on Sinners. Okay. Now Nosferatu was ass biz. I actually liked it. But I get what you mean, though. If you ain't feeling it, I get what you mean. I saw the original. All right, I saw the original and I was feeling it. Okay. Everybody, hit the like. Let's get some people in here. What we're going to be talking about today, all right, is Shakur Stevenson. Listen, man. I think Shakur Stevenson has been set up. I definitely think he was done dirty. Hold on, dog. Let's get the receipt. Receipts, motherfucker! Dude, check this out.
I king, I do a die king. I take purple to the head like a Viking. Free drinks to a head like a Siamese. We getting drunk in this motherfucker high key. We about to pop off like when you pop the lock off. Brandon got the cannon that'll knock your block and socks off.
This brother can't main event a Berlanga card. Hey, dog. Let me just break down how messed up that is. Okay? I just understand. I think Shakur versus Zepeda should be the main event. Now, that is probably up for debate, but just let me speak my piece. All right? with him not main eventing or heading that card, whenever he get to the negotiation tables for Gervonta Tank Davis, he has no ground to stand on. He has zero leverage. You cannot go to a Gervonta Tank Davis negotiation table and have any leverage if you can't headline over Berlanga versus Shiraz. Brother, that he just got shot in the knee. He just got shot in the knee before he got to the starting blocks. If you can't now, listen, I'm with you, brother. And the thing is, Tim Butler, just hear me out, bro. The thing is, should he headline? The question is, should he headline? Okay, Biz, you're all over the place. Because I know it's hard for you to follow. It's hard for you to follow because I'm not a fanboy. All right, so I don't just say one. So if you hear me criticize Shakur, you think, oh, he should be shitting on him. You're used to that. I keep it real no matter what. So I am all over the place because I keep it real on all areas. All right. So if I say something great about Shakur, you think I can't criticize him. He all over the place. Fanboys, y'all can't understand it. All right. But you would get used to me. But listen, neutral. That's what neutral means. But listen, Shakur Stevenson, number one, I understand it's a heavy Puerto Rican card in New York. I get it. But Shakur Stevenson is Puerto Rican too. All right. I mean, can we agreed? I do get it. Berlanga, you know what I mean, represent Puerto Ricans very well on how he's fighting and who he's going up against and stuff, fighting Canelo Alvarez. But Shakur is Puerto Rican. Okay, just all right. No, he is. His father is Puerto Rican. He is as Puerto Rican as David Benavidez, the Mexican monster, is Mexican, bro. All right. He is as Puerto Rican as Duran is Panamanian. Because Duran's father was actually Mexican. All right. So he is as Puerto Rican as Obama is black. But I digress. I digress. All right. That's not even the biggest. That's not the biggest point. The biggest point is how many of you guys, please enlighten me. How many of you guys are seeing Berlanga versus Shiraz breakdowns? How many of you are seeing people break down the fight of Berlanga versus Shiraz? Jake is more Puerto Rican than him. I agree. But still, not a single one. Everybody, if there's going to be breakdowns on that card, is breakdowns of Shakur versus Zepeda. That is the black two sugars. I can give a damn. I can give a damn. And listen to me. Shakur dropped Eddye Hearn. You heard that? I heard that. Has to do with the co-main situation and how he's moved. You think? Could be. My thing is he's not out of contractual relationships with Eddye Hearn, though. Because him and Eddye Hearn has like another 2-3 fights. I think another fight, maybe. I think they have another fight on their contract. So he can drop them all he wants. I'm not sure if he can drop them completely because they still have another fight contractually. All right. But with that said, breakdowns are on Shakur versus Zepeda. And with that said, Shakur may just lose that fight. And I'm y'all see my shorts and people are getting upset all over social media. And I just want to speak to you guys about this because I have receipts. Oh, yes, I have receipts for this take. I don't just throw shit out my ass. Well, I do when I'm on the toilet, but I'm saying when I'm speaking and I'm giving my takes. Why New York, though? Berlanga, Pollo versus you got, I mean, I don't know. But anyway. I don't know what just happened, but everything, am I okay now? No sound. Yeah, everything got weird. As long as it is free, I'm okay with it. I'm not paying to watch Shakur not fight Tank. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. Listen, bro. Shakur ain't been that bad. He was bad once. He was bad. He was bad against De Los Santos. He ain't been that bad. Let me see. I love Turki, but I think Shiraz is one of his personal favorites. I'm sure of it. And was part of the Canelo 5 fight deal. Yeah. So to make the Canelo fight make sense, he would want Shiraz to headline versus Edgar Berlanga. That is definitely, I agree. If you want to throw on a conspiracy hat, I agree. All right. But hear me out. No, you good. Okay, hold on. Let me get my black two sugars. Listen. Let me just break this down. I got my money on William Zepeda. Now, if Shakur Stevenson is healthy, I got Shakur. But I just want to break something down for you guys. That's a great take. He wasn't just bad. One of the worst in history once is far worse than being just bad once. I got you on that. Keep up the good work, Biz. And Shakur couldn't put out the electrician early enough. Well, you put him out, though. Hands unhealthy, and Zepeda is healthy and a beast in his own. Okay, let's break this down. Let's break this down. Do you think Crawford versus Canelo will do more pay-per-view buys than Canelo versus Floyd? No, I don't think so. Listen, before I break this down, because of piracy, before I break this down, understand the heat that I'm getting on socials from people that's like, stop it, Biz. And then, of course, here's the race talk, immediately racist. I disagree with you, Biz. Race. All right. But y'all know I'm not on that. All right. I just talk about the breakdown. I just want to show you guys something. All right. Let me show you guys something. Let's check out the receipts. Receipts, motherfucker. Okay. I'm going to say this calmly because I don't want nobody irritated. All right. When William Zepeda fights, race is hilarious. When William Zepeda fights, his chin is down. He used the hard part of his head like Pitbull Cruz. And he used his elbows to catch punches, as you should. And then he presses forward that way, throwing 1,000 punches a fight, throwing anywhere from 800 to over 1,000 punches a fight. If you want to average how many punches he throw a fight, it's going to be 1,000. All right. But I haven't done the math, but I'm sure it's 900 some or close to 1,000. If he's the co-man, he definitely could negotiate a rematch clause. That's a problem. Okay. And let me tell you why that's a problem for Shakur Stevenson. Check out Shakur Stevenson hands against Padley. Y'all seen it before, but I want to give you the receipt.
And there's the body shots again. Oh, that hurt Padley. In the 7th round. And
he hurt his hands that bad against a soft Padley. And I'm not saying he's a soft fighter, but he was soft that fight, of course. He only had 3 days to train, okay? He wasn't training. That's not training. He hurt his hands immediately against Padley, all right? Now, I want to, number one, that's Shakur with brittle hands. But did y'all see Zepeda's last fight against Farmer 2? Guess who else hurt his hands against Zepeda? Let me show you. Let's count the waves.
I'm the bigger fighter. I'm the stronger fighter. And that's the reason he's so confident that he can knock out a fighter like Zepeda.
He was also banking on rehydration. There's no rehydration clause. He did not allow that to be put in the contract. But Sergio, sometimes dehydration, 20 pounds, can cause issues. Went crazy.
Take a knee. Take a knee.
Okay. All right. It was his elbow biz. Regardless, he hurt himself against Zepeda, right? Do y'all see the similarities? I don't give a damn if it was his shoulder blade. What I'm saying is the way Zepeda fights and press forward, his guard can make you hurt yourself. Though it's Tevin Farmer's elbow, Shakur Stevenson fist will hit Zepeda before his elbow does. Something may just get hurt. All right. What I'm saying is this. Did you guys see the similarities? Before you got, I know I got a point. People want to try to break it down to I don't give a damn. I want you guys to see the similarities. Let's look at it again. And then I will spoon feed you.
And there's the body shots again. Oh, that hurt badly. In the 7th round. And
did you guys see the similarities in the combination that hurt Shakur hands and hurt Tevin Farmer, whatever you want, his tricep? I can give a damn. Do you guys see? Let me show you. For y'all, y'all going to try to say there's no concerns, which I love that Malik said it is concerning, bruh. I want you guys to see the similarity.
Stronger fighter.
There's the body shots again.
Y'all don't see it? Now, I'm not talking about I'm going to fanboy my favorite fighter no matter what. We could push that to the side. I'm just saying how to break down a fight. Y'all don't see it? Same shit. Bam, bam. They do the same thing. Bam, bam. And guess what? Elbow. Bam, boom. Except for Padley isn't the fighter Zepeda is. Tevin Farmer isn't the fighter Shakur is, but at least Tevin Farmer and Shakur is a little closer than Padley and Zepeda. Zepeda tucked that elbow. Bam. Y'all don't see how that could be concerning? Yep. That's not the only similarities they have. All right, hold on. Zepeda is an engine, and by only blocking the punches, he will tear Shakur hands. So I don't see, no matter how much he run, how he can manage to keep him off. Okay, we're going to talk about that. This might be Shakur's last fight. This is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can't just run to keep Zepeda off of you. You can't. People are looking at Shakur versus De Los Santos and Shakur versus Artem Harutyunyan. They're looking at that and they're not seeing the difference. They didn't want Shakur to hit him. That's why the only way Shakur can run around is if he makes you stop. And Shakur pump fake and he made De Los Santos stop. And then he's able to move. All the pump faking in the world ain't going to stop Zepeda. That's how Shakur gets out the way. Pump fake. Then he moves. Hold on. Let me see. Zepeda by split decision. We're going to talk about that. I don't think even a healthy Shakur can beat Zepeda. I don't think he has the guns to keep the pressure off of him. How would he stop that pressure? I think if he had his pop, he can. Listen, I'm not saying for sure Zepeda wins. I'm just breaking down why there's a concern instead of y'all looking at a name Shakur and a name Zepeda. And since you're so much more, you can identify with the Shakur name more, Shakur just going to win. I'm saying check it out. Let me see. Also, Tevin hurt Zepeda bad. He still came forward. 100%. Tevin had more pop, though, than Shakur. But you're right. Shakur got to do rice bucket hand conditioning. Whatever it is. If Shakur is truly a great fighter, he'll overcome this. He needs to go back to how he used to fight, especially back when he fought. But see, the difference is he was healthy. I don't think you're grasping healthy versus unhealthy. Fragile hands versus healthy hands. I don't think that's being grasped. All right? If he's healthy, he can do whatever. He can fight him like he fought Gonzalez all he wants. How he fought Valdez all he wants. I'm talking about unhealthy hands. This is another thing. Here's another thing. I know you can look at Zepeda, and with his volume punching, what must Shakur do to convince Zepeda to stop punching so much? If he's punching a lot, it's only one word. It's only you low-key hating Biz. I understand. I made your coochie moist. I get it. But what do you do against a volume puncher? Let's in my opinion, Kerr good enough to outpoint Zep touch and move. Okay, we're gonna talk. Increase volume. $1 trillion counter. Listen to what $1 trillion said. He said counter. All right. Okay. Hold on. What's good, Biz? I think Shakur should take 1-2 years off to fully heal his hands. I agree. And then come back. I think Shakur hands keep breaking because he doesn't let them fully heal. 100%. Because Shakur is a fighter. He's just hungry like that. And he has a huge ego. But counter and hold. But let me ask you, does Shakur counter? I'm talking about after he hurt his hand. His hands, plural. Does Shakur counter? Counter has to hurt. Look at his last fight against Padley. All right, hold on. Undercard placement is fair from the consumer point of view. Kerr writes verbal checks his hands can't cash. It should motivate him to adjust his style and push if he can. Body work is key. Take the gas out the tank. Are you talking about Shakur? Listen, he slips and circles. I don't think so. When Padley was punching, for the most part, Shakur wasn't punching. He was only punching when Padley was done punching. Check it out.
Bouncing on his feet, full of fire still, Padley. And why not? Fighting with freedom. And he will be making a name for himself here. And he will be invited back. That win over Mark Chamberlain has got him a huge amount of money and the respect from this performance as well.
And his stock, without a shadow of a doubt, has been risen already. Heart, desire, got laid down as he in this contest. He's been second best, but to a very, very good fighter.
Laid down, he won't go down.
For Stevenson, he's not a massive puncher, but he can punch his weight. But accumulation of punches will get the stoppages than they have in the past. And that's what he should be doing now. He's hitting Padley with good shots and then not following through it.
See if he can back him up on the ropes. That's lovely from Stevenson. Again goes to the body, an uppercut.
It's just those couple of punches there for Padley that just slows Stevenson down. That's good from Stevenson there. Little cheeky elbow on it just to create the space to throw the uppercut.
Trying to march him down a bit now, Stevenson. Padley refuses to fold.
Look how side on he goes. And when you attack Stevenson, how side on he goes. Gets that shoulder stand.
I expected a game effort. I didn't think this.
No.
This is how you break down a fight. Don't look at who won the fight. Look at the little things. When Padley is punching, Shakur isn't. He's covering up. And when Padley is done punching, then Shakur punches. Get what I'm saying? Zepeda's going to be all over him, and he's going to cover up. Bam, 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 bam. He has to wait for him to stop so he can start throwing his punches. Because you don't want to just throw a wild punch in there and hurt his hand. You get what I'm saying? He was picking his shots. I know. Do you understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about stylistically? You don't? A lot of you guys don't? Hold on. Let me see. Because I ain't going to be able to get my point across. If you can't outbox him, you fight him. Right. If you can't fight him, you outbox him. Up off it? 100%. 100%. Okay, Biz. I'm saying you can't overcome. You can't cover up versus. You can't just sit there and cover up. Let me see. Stop volume punches by going to the bread basket. You have to counter. I get you. Okay. Here's the thing. Here's the last thing that concerns me. I'm not saying that Zepeda definitely wins. I'm not saying that. I'm saying this breakdown is about why it concerns me. Okay? Hold on. You spit. I'm trying my best, but I got to go slowly because people emotions get. That's why I can't yell or anything, because people just start getting mad and want to yell back. So you just got to be very calm, especially when there's fanboys around. Now, check this out. This is what I want to show you guys. I was trying to look at Shakur Stevenson, how many punches he throw per fight, all right, in total, and how many punches he land, okay? There's a reason why I wanted to know this, but I wanted to know post his hand injury. Can't do it. He stopped Padley. De Los Santos, that skews the data too much. I can't really look at that. I can look at Haratunian. I can look at that, right? But you can't really come up with anything other than, I'm talking about 12-round fights. Haratunian, all right? So I looked at that fight. Hold on real quick. He steps back constantly. Roy Jones Jr. pointed this out. Yep, well, distance controls needs to be fine-tuned. Exactly, because distance control isn't just about stepping back. So he was absolutely right. So I looked at Shakur versus Haratunian. I looked at his numbers, and Shakur threw 446 punches in total. He landed 170 total punches. He landed 170. He threw 446. Okay? Hit the Tyson bell. Landed 170, threw 446. It wasn't fair for me to just look at that, so I looked at him versus Valdez. Oscar Valdez versus Shakur. He threw 580, so he was busier because Valdez is a pressure fighter, so he has to punch more. Good data. 580 punches thrown, 189 landed. We all know what he did to Valdez. Look how many Valdez could barely land on him, right? But it's very revealing. Okay? So I went on to look at Zepeda versus Farmer. I looked at how many punches Farmer threw and landed versus Zepeda. Farmer threw 587 punches and landed 193 punches in their first fight. 587 and landed 193. Does that sound familiar to the type of output Shakur puts out? Let's look at the second fight. Farmer, 679 punches thrown, throwing more punches and landing 152. Is that for? Yes, it is. Now Zepeda throwing 974. And he's a very busy fighter. Okay, so here's what I did. I averaged them. I averaged them just to compare the output they dish out and the punches they land. With those two fights against Zepeda, Farmer landed 172.5. So that's 173. He landed 173 out of 633 punches. 173 out of 633 punches. Shakur Stevenson, out of those two fights, landed 179 out of 513. More accurate, but he only landed, what's that? 6 more punches than Farmer in total. And he threw over 100 less than Farmer. This is why it's concerning. This is why it's concerning. Because Zepeda beat Farmer with that output. That output of 170 plus punches landed out of 500 and something or 600 and something. Zepeda beats that with his volume. Zepeda beating. He beat Farmer with that volume. If Shakur doesn't knock him out and he fights like Shakur, Zepeda can beat him. If Shakur can't hurt him, exactly, especially with the brittle hands, I am concerned. Because lastly, what I'm concerned about is this. Shakur fell out with Matchroom and had a falling out on social media with Turki. And if he fights William Zepeda and he puts out that output and Zepeda puts out his, what do you think the judge is going to do? What do you think the judge is going to do? And they would be in their right to, because Zepeda done won with the same output against Devin Farmer. Shakur Stevenson doesn't just have to beat Zepeda, he got to whoop his ass. And that's the Black Two Sugars. He's behind enemy lines, dog. And he's co-main to a Berlanga Shiraz fight. I rest my case, bruh. I rest my case. I'm not saying Zepeda will win. I'm saying, y'all who saying that this shit is easy, it's not. It's a difficult fight, and he's behind enemy lines, bro. That's the Black Two Sugars. Let me see. Little Valdez landed on Shakur more than anybody. Now you got a bigger, a dude bigger than him with a longer reach and twice the volume. Does this version of Shakur Stevenson even beat an old Loma? I don't know. I don't know. If I'm Zepeda, I'll fight him just like I did Farmer. I tuck my elbows, use my forehead. Hopefully he hurts himself, and then just keep the volume up and out volume him and go right to the scorecard and see what it is. I throw 1,100 punches and out volume him, and let's see what it is. I said I thought Tevin Farmer won out of the quality of punches landed. I got shitted on. I was called racist, pro-black, all that shit. I thought Farmer beat him with the quality. So that's what I see. But that's not what the judges saw, and that's not what the masses saw. They saw Zepeda win. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. Keep the same energy. You might tell a joke, but you never tell a lie. Noble life. I'm saying, bro. I'm saying. Fans be crazy. I'm saying. Not a bad strategy. I would. There was in Cancun, Biz. There was in Cancun. That was so hard for me to read, but that's because of autocorrect. But I'm gonna tell you this though, brother. I just said behind enemy lines, dog. Shakur fell out with Matchroom, fell out with Turki, and now on the undercard of Berlanga versus Shiraz. You ain't forget it. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Let's move on. Like I said, bro, I don't want to convince everybody of why I'm concerned. Do you? I'm just saying, me, I'm gonna put a little bag to win a big one on my book. My bookie that I wanna try. All right, let's move forward. Let's move forward. Everybody, let's do a very quick. I mean, we got the GRAN arrivals. We may want to jump on that, but let's do this. Pause. Shit. Let's do this real quick. The lie detector test. Y'all see the lie detector test with Eubank and Ben? Let's do it around.
Niggas be acting like they can't get it, man. Yeah, they can't get it, man.
You would trade your boxing career for guaranteed success as a movie star?
No. No. Sorry, it's not true.
So we thinking Brad Pitt, or?
I've never thought about acting before, but maybe deep down I want to be an actor. That's true.
You check social media comments about yourself?
All the time, yes. True.
Do you enjoy the celebrity lifestyle?
Yeah, sure.
I don't think that's true. There's a part of you that doesn't think so.
Okay, it's interesting.
Would Ben Shalom knock out Eddye Hearn?
Yeah, I think if he catches him right with the perfect shot, I think he can put Eddie down.
Sorry, Chris, you're not telling the truth today. You don't want to upset Ben.
I tried, Ben. I tried. I don't know what you want from me, man.
Cris Eubank Jr. will be the best opponent you've faced so far?
No. It's not true.
Do you respect what Cris has achieved so far in boxing?
No. True.
You are going to finish Eubank's career on April 26th.
Yes. Very true.
You are confident your skills are simply superior to Conor Benn's?
In every way, shape and form, I believe I'm a superior fighter to Conor Benn.
That's a definite true.
If you lose to Conor Benn, would you seriously consider retirement?
Yes. If I lose to Conor Benn, retirement is most definitely something that I will be considering.
Yep, that's true.
Niggas be acting like they can't get it, man. Yeah, they can't get it, man.
They both are 100% confident. Let's go to. I love the lie detector test thing. I think they need to do that more often. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see. Let's go and see what's going on with these GRAN arrivals real quick. I hope I didn't hurt anyone's feelings with what I was saying. Just giving you food for thought. I know that makes a lot of people cry race or you hurt my feelings or whatever. I don't know, but I ain't got that kind of time. Okay. All right, we in here. Hold on, everybody. Let me see. Not being moist and not a fanboy. I understand your point, but respectfully disagree. I think Shakur would do what Floyd did to Valdemir, box and turn him. Yeah, I don't compare Shakur to Floyd like that. Let me see. Give it to me straight. Percentage chance Ramirez wins. I got 60% Ramirez. Okay. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. Let me invite y'all to the gun show. Share screen. Hold on, y'all.
To do here. It was a very, very good.
Man, they trying to hit me with the copyright, ain't they? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I got to change my media asset. Let me change my media asset real quick. Hold y'all down. What the hell?
This is going to be your third fight with
There it is
Eddye
right
Hearn.
there.
You won the first fight by decision.
And everybody, we in the zone war room. We in the zone war room.
Listen, we get it cracking on Saturday, and we'll see. Everybody should tune in. I'm excited.
And look, obviously it's 1-1 now.
I can't hear
This is gonna
shit.
decide who comes out on top in this rivalry. Do you think it leads to a title shot if you win?
Pardon?
Do you think it will lead to a title shot if you win?
Yeah, whoever wins this fight goes on to bigger and better things, obviously. So,
Best of luck.
You're on time. This was a good show today. We got a little bit more to talk about too. Just a little bit.
And now let's welcome from Ilford, London, England. He has a professional record
Oh
of
shit,
26
I can see that.
wins,
I actually
3
can see that.
defeats,
I don't think he's as
24
good, but I see
of
that.
his 26
Like stylistically.
wins coming by way of knockout. He is the former 2-time world title challenger.
Can y'all hear me,
Eddye,
Philo?
the
Is it a
beast
good
from
balance?
the East
I'm so interested in this shit. I'm so interested in this shit. Barboza is stylistically dangerous for TO, in my opinion. I agree.
To Beterbiev.
That's
in
50-50
terms of where
for
he's
me.
at right now, though, Barry Jones, it has been a little bit stop-start, perhaps through no fault of his own, but he'll feel like he has to do a proper job here to get back in that top mix.
Yeah, let's be honest, his last performance was massively underwhelming, and that's not like Anthony.
I like
Even in
Anthony
defeat,
Yard.
he'd be
You know,
absolutely
I like
fantastic.
that.
That's another
Who knows?
thing.
He may
We
get
judge
knocked
him
out this
on
fight,
his two
or he may
biggest
win by
fights. That was
knockout. I love that shit.
Kovalev and Beterbiev, where
I will
he was
always enjoy
tremendous in
watching
both,
Anthony
certainly
Yard.
Beterbiev, but he still came second, unfortunately.
Barboza
But
dropped
what he-
TO.
what he chose
I can
about
see
his
that. I'm
career,
about
he's a
80% sure of
panache
that.
for a great finish. So he's a patient man. He always gets the job done early. When he's on form, he's a very, very hard man to beat. Can he recapture that form? That's the question.
Let's hear from him.
All right, Anthony, obviously you know Lyndon very well. You fought him twice now. First fight didn't go your way. Second fight, 4th round knockout. How can you possibly top that?
Make it a first round
Doing the
knockout.
same again, or doing it quicker. But for me, it's just focusing on getting the victory.
I like Mike Compinger.
And
Like,
look, I know you're yearning for another
always
title
crack
shot.
up
You've
when
had
you see
2
each
title
other.
fights
Very
now.
good.
Sergey Kovalev, Arthur Beterbiev, both are incredible fights, and you came up just short. What do you think you have to do to get back there?
Just keep winning, stay focused, keep progressing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
he's like a computer. Have you ever spoken to Mike
Fighters, please
Compinger?
face
Like,
off.
are you human or AI or I never know what's going on with you, bro.
This Saturday, it will be a trilogy rematch. Scheduled
Man.
for 12 rounds for the
I
vacant
don't know, Yard.
WBA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight
This is it.
Championship.
This is it, y'all. Y'all ain't gonna fight again after this.
Versus Anthony, the Beast from the East Yard.
Hey, thought I'd tell you, he's freezing. You know how it is, bro. That dude got a shiesty on. Is that a shiesty? Oh, that's just a Scully. Yeah, that brother there looking like Candyman. that weather got that brother looking like Candyman out there, bro.
We are still waiting, gents, for the main event.
I'm having a hard
So in the
time because
meantime,
everything
listen,
looks
this
like
is a main
Fatal
event
Fury.
with a hell of a
to me.
lot of story
Like,
attached
I know
to
they
it,
all got
family
different
ties
like
as well.
titles, but
Let's
it
hear a
feels
little
like
bit
they're
more
all
about
Fatal
Cris
Fury.
Eubank Jr. and Senior and their relationship.
Nigel will be supportive. Nigel will be
hold on,
with Conor throughout the whole build-up. But he's not in Tony Sims' ear saying,
turn this down so
right,
we
Conor
can
needs
talk
to
about
be
the other.
doing this. Whereas
Okay. We're gonna keep this up, but we're gonna change the view a little bit. So look, I do also want to talk about this real quick. Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Golden Boy released the entire fight. A lot of people got hurt. I saw when I put it on X, they were like, man, ShowBizz, why you hating? It's like, what? I mean, we all been wanting to see that fight since that night. We haven't seen it since. And what I want to say about when I saw it, again, for the second time in its entirety, I still feel the same. I think Devin Haney fought a good fight. People are like, oh, he started fighting too much and not boxing. That is not true. Devin was boxing. It's just that his flaws were exploited so crazy. 2, that was a shitty Ryan Garcia. Man, Ryan could barely throw. It was so shitty and sloppy. Of course, if you've been drinking and doing booger sugar, whatever he was doing leading up to, he just looked bad.
the third thing I want to say is Devin couldn't deal with Ryan Garcia's hand speed. When Ryan Garcia threw a combination, Devin put the block up and tried to lean back and try to be defensive and got dropped every time Ryan opened up. Every time he opened up, he hurt him. He couldn't deal with his hand speed. So I'm thinking a more healthy and focused Ryan Garcia really makes it look crazy. You know, I'm thinking matchup-wise, it's just not a good matchup. If Devin beats Ryan in the rematch, that says so much about Devin's ability to adapt and how much of a great fighter he's going to be if he beats Ryan. Because every time Ryan opened up and initiate punches, it was a wrap. His defensively, how he, you know, try to make you miss. And what he does, bruh, Ryan was too fast, let alone heavy-handed for Devin. Devin tried to lean straight back because he's been bigger than everybody. So when he leaned straight back, I mean, Ryan's punches were getting there. I mean, I've never seen such a lopsided. Another thing, Devin Haney should have been deducted a point for his extensive holding. And Ryan should have only gotten a warning for the punch after the break. That fight, though Devin kept his he got his ass whipped. That's why it's so scary. Because even when Devin was doing well, he never really affected Ryan, except for that hook that he threw that looked like it was going to the body, but he went upstairs. I love how Devin throws his hooks. He throws it like Sugar Ray Leonard. He throws it at an angle where you don't know if it's going to the body or the head, and he caught Ryan. And I think Ryan was shook. I can give a damn what people say. Ryan was just off balance. I think he gave him slight Bambi legs. So you could take that, you know, forward and say, I can hurt Ryan. But other than that, bruh, that was a piss poor Ryan, bruh, who beat a focused Devin. Let me see. Watched it 5 times. It's been on the zone whole time. Really? I just saw the highlights. I didn't see it. Who wins Sergio Martinez or who is Kawasaki? Oh, Kawasaki. You misspelled it. Kawasaki, dog. What's the worst Ryan I've ever seen? That's the worst Ryan I've ever seen. Period. Hold on. Let's see if wait a second.
I think there's more of an issue for Conor Benn. Yeah, I was going to say, because
is he going to talk about Shakur?
That's talked about the risks in the fight in terms of the risk to Conor Benn of moving up is Cris Eubank Sr. I mean, he's the one that's saying it's too dangerous for Conor Benn. Everyone's talking about the danger of Cris Eubank making the same weight that he's made his last 5 fights. Yes, there is a rehydration clause. Every time I've been around him, that hasn't been a problem in terms of those numbers. He'll certainly have to watch himself, but it's not like he's going to have to be not hydrating, not eating. My concern is for the safety of my fighter, Conor Benn. He's the one jumping up, fighting the much bigger man. I expect
you kind of capped a little bit,
Eddie. Around 157, 158 pounds. I think he'll come into the ring about 165 pounds. And I think Cris Eubank Jr. will come into the ring about 175 pounds. I think he'll be giving away about 10 pounds in the ring. I hear you,
but it's kind of capped.
The way that he's been performing in training camp, the way that he's been sparring, the size of the opposition he's been sparring against, he's ready for those guys. And let's not forget, his last 2 fights have been at 154. You know, when
couldn't crack an egg.
Interim fight. So listen,
couldn't crack an egg.
He's at a disadvantage in terms of the size.
No punch.
Honestly, don't think it's going to matter.
No. But he's been able to train in a healthier position for himself than ever before. So I think we're going to see a stronger Benn, if anything.
Right, you're programmed.
I know. It's getting the mix right between being able to fuel yourself and train at 110% every session.
And just stood there, that's Bill's fault.
At that weight in terms of your opponent.
You think that's cap?
So for Eubank, there's no doubt 160 is a struggle for him. It has been the last 5 fights. But it's the output that you can put into that training camp in the closing weeks, in the weeks that really matter. And I think for Conor Benn, it's been, I mean, you've seen it across social media. It's been literally wake up, fuel, 110%, go to bed, wake up, fuel again, go again, dinner at night,
not
fuel,
cap.
wake up feeling $1 million. But it's at the same time, you don't want to be eating yourself into the weight. You don't want to be walking around. You don't want to be slow. You don't want to be lethargic. You don't want to be heavy. You want to be razor sharp. Yeah, and that's why I don't think he's going to be trying to necessarily eat himself up to, he'll be overweight now. Yeah. He won't be, he'll be over 160 pounds now, in my opinion. It'll be very close. But Eubank at this stage is probably, 170? 172, bringing himself down to championship weight. So, you know, this week will be much tougher for Cris Eubank. No
Thank
doubt
you.
about that. Because
That's
this
what I
fight,
meant.
Conor Benn,
There you
guy
go.
won't have to probably make weight, but at the same time, it's the numbers that you enter the ring at as well that will have a difference. But you know, some of the best fighters I've worked with have only been 3, 4, 5 pound over championship weight when they go into the ring.
That's
I mean,
what.
Carl Frost
That's
is
my
probably the
point
best
with
example
Canelo
of
versus
that.
Crawford.
That was just so strong. I mean, literally would wake up in the morning, go for a wander, get on the scales, done. Small rehydrate, 4 or 5 pounds, but go into
Hey,
the
Larry,
ring,
I can't stand
you know,
it.
without
They're
putting your
not-
body
they're not
through
the
that
same
24
animal.
hours or 48 hours of stress to try and get yourself back to ready to go.
Eddie, have you got a little? I mean, I've not seen you so quiet at 2 press conferences that we've seen for these 2 launch ones, obviously in Manchester and then in London.
I'm not allowed to speak.
Well, yeah. Have you got a game plan?
No, my game plan is I don't want to upset Cris Eubank Jr. I don't want any unfair advantage for Conor Benn. Clearly, most of Cris Eubank's focus going into this fight has been on me rather than Conor Benn. So I'm going to stay out of it because I don't want to get into his mind and start giving Conor Benn any additional advantage. We don't need any advantage. So I've got a few ideas that I think will help, but you won't hear a lot from me this week. I try and stay out of Cris Eubank Jr.'s way because I don't want to get in his head. Let him focus on the fight. He really needs to.
He did say the only
That man got
regret
his
he
legs
had is that
crossed
he didn't
standing
hit you with
up.
an egg as well.
I don't.
Well,
I mean,
a lot
I
of people
cross
would
my
have
legs,
liked that.
but you
Trust me when I
cross your
say
legs
he was
standing.
double onside.
That
if would have happened.
Would you agree
that
with
man's
would you?
sophisticated as
Thank God
shit.
for the security, eh? Blimey, thank
You
God.
go,
that
bro.
didn't
Love
happen.
you,
me
boy.
get angry. Woo.
Ed,
Wow.
there's 2 narratives I've seen here, or 2 storylines that seem to be making waves. It's Ben early, Eubank late.
Yeah.
You disagree with that, don't you?
Or vice versa.
I've heard you fancy Ben on points. Is that right?
No.
Oh, well.
It's
I
the
like
one-
Conor
it's the
late
one
and
method of
early.
victory I can't see happen.
Okay.
Tyler, I tell
I mean, the
you
one
do that
thing I'll
shit?
say is that Conor Benn's conditioning is second to none. So there is a lot of narrative, like you said, around Ben early, but Eubank doesn't really look great over 12 rounds. It's not like, I mean, you know, I think he's got a decent engine. How will he make the weight? How will the hydration affect him? The reason I think people are choosing Conor early is because of the sharpness of the way he starts.
I think
the fight and
Conor
the way he
late.
punches, but
Kerr
also
fights
probably
more
because
like
of the Liam
Tony
Smith
and
defeat
Floyd,
as well.
to be honest.
To Cris Eubank.
I agree.
I believe I was so shocked by the Liam Smith knockout because Cris Eubank Jr. has always had an unbelievable chin, and he ain't got an unbelievable chin
Lost
anymore.
tangle,
That's
Saturday.
fact. You don't get knocked out like he did against Liam Smith without having
Called an elbow.
that wear
number
and
one
tear on the
against
chin
Liam Smith.
because
I mean,
in the
it
early
was an
days,
elbow, bro.
his chin was incredible, like his old man's. And I just don't think he can hold a shot like he used to. And I think Conor Benn's shots are going to have more effect early in the fight, catch him cold. And honestly, Tony Sims, like you said, Tony Sims doesn't make predictions like that. When have you ever heard Tony Sims say, this fight is not going 6 rounds?
Listen.
I mean, Nigel says it's not going 4 rounds, but he's also his dad.
Nigel was on cap.
right?
Nigel was cap.
But I can't see this fight going more than 6 rounds.
You can't see it going more than
you know
6
how
rounds.
Conor Benn fights. He's not going to
Okay.
come out and start, you know, running around the ring and boxing and moving. He's going to come out and set about it.
Do you think on
That's
the flip
fact.
side, Eubank will try and navigate and stay out of trouble those early rounds?
He might choose to come and have a fight with him. You know, he might choose that he likes his
His right
chances in a
ball in
shootout.
the pocket.
I mean, you know, Eubank's not a massive puncher at middletweight, but he can punch, you know, and obviously he's a middleweight. So
and he doesn't have the footwork to dance around.
Okay,
It takes
here,
him to-
here.
has to-
Let me tell you where I thought it was cap, but then he corrected it. He definitely corrected it. He's such a great salesman. Eddie Hearn is. There's a chance that Conor Benn has the weight advantage this fight, bruh. There is a chance that Conor Benn has the weight advantage this fight. Cris Eubank coming down, and then with a rehydration clause, y'all seen it time and time again. There's a good chance that Conor Benn, he's not going to be able, I mean, not Conor Benn, but Cris Eubank is not going to be able to endure and not going to be able to swat. There's a chance, bruh. There is a chance. I do have Eubank winning the fight. I'm just saying Conor Benn may just have, dude, Tim Butler, I'm looking at this situation. I saw when I met Cris Eubank, that guy was shredded at 180. He was a shredded, thin 180. A shredded 180, bruh. Dude, with a rehydration clause, bruh, there's a chance that brother gonna be out there looking sick and Conor Benn is going to have the weight advantage. This is my problem with the Canelo and Crawford fight. Is that Canelo fight at 168, right? But he's comfortable there. He is not weight training himself. He grew into that naturally. That's the beauty behind Canelo, is that he fought up these weight classes as he grew. He didn't sweat and make weight and stay low for too long. He's kept himself very healthy by fighting at his walk-around weight. Terrence Crawford isn't fighting Canelo at a catch weight. He's not fighting him at 160. He's fighting where he's fully comfortable. And now Terrence Crawford got to bulk up and fight Canelo. That's the difference. Like with Conor fighting Cris Eubank got to shred down with the rehydration. That is, now Conor Benn may have a weight advantage. That's the difference between Crawford and Canelo, making Crawford look like a damn monster for even considering that, let alone agreeing to it. That's my thing. This is when Cris Eubank Sr. said the fight isn't fair. I hear you, because they're two different weight classes. But it may be more fair than you think because of the agreed upon weight and the stipulations behind it. That's why I'm not mad at the fight.
You're very spiteful early. A lot of it's going to come down to what kind of effect he can have with those shots. I mean, if Eubank takes the shots well, it's going to be a long night for Conor Benn. But as we saw in the Liam Smith fight, I think those early shots, those ones where don't
listen to Salate, bro.
Like the Algerian knockout.
Let me see. Ben hasn't squat since he came back. I know.
On Cris Eubank Jr. He does that, Eddie, and he wins in the way
that is the fact.
In front of the world, in front of 65,000 at Tottenham Hotspur. What does that do for his profile and star power?
How the hell do you cross your legs standing?
The fact is
I can understand if you were leaning on a building or something, or you had like a damn umbrella, closed, and on your shit, like leaning and shit.
This
but
is a complete freak fight.
You need some monocle now.
Oh, it's a circus, just because everyone knew that.
The difference between Canelo and Crawford is that they're actually good fighters. Eubank makes plenty of mistakes, same as Ben, to go either way. That's a fact.
But the winner, look.
But I was just talking about weight.
Cris Eubank Jr. He's 30.
Y'all, hey, I'm tripping on this.
Back end of his career. He's looking
at me flabbergasted.
Conor's still a young man. He goes out there and knocks out Cris Eubank Jr.
Look at every other man out there. They all got tight pants on. I get it. But look at Eddie, bro. He is the most sophisticated human being.
We're not really looking at it as that. We're just looking at winning. This fight is so important to Conor Benn. It's so important to his dad. It's so important to the team. It's so important to his legacy. This is
an expensive
one-off.
Hey, yo, Bill.
Freak occurrence between two world-class fighters whose dads happen to have the greatest rivalry in the history.
Leaning on what?
I'm sold. Are you? I mean, you're pretty good at this.
I don't even need to sell it.
Leaning on what?
Shalom up here, he'd sell it.
I think plenty more of that. What you said there, though, like. He's not bothered.
Oh, he is leaning.
I think that's
he is leaning. He's leaning on that little thing. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I still can't mess with it, bro. I still can't mess with it.
He wants to win. But I'll tell you what, he don't want to win like Conor Benn. I'm telling you now. Eubank is at the back end. The money's there. The villas there in Dubai. The games of poker are there in Las Vegas. The villas at wherever he stays there. Conor's coming into that world. I promise you.
I still got Chris.
He likes to spend his money.
When it comes to mid-tier fighters, I think weight isn't really.
I've never seen anyone want to win so bad. You know how hard this kid's trained? I've never seen anything like it. He has pushed himself to the absolute limits. That doesn't mean you're going to win. But what it does is it gives you.
I think it's less effective for. Is that what you meant? If you're a high-level fighter, I think the weight difference is less of an impact. If that's what you're saying.
And I said to him, mate, you can look yourself in the mirror.
Eddye Hearn is leaning against an invisible Traverse.
Now you
between him and Salate, bro. Listen, y'all going to get me.
That's it. Enjoy yourself.
He's just missing the thing. A flop and some shade. Yeah, he
never does the work.
He needs a monitor.
Dad never did the work. Never. In his whole career, he never really did the work. He relied on true grit, toughness, and some ability and a great chin. As you get older, the true grit, the toughness starts.
Yeah, the age
and the chin also.
I don't think about that as much when it comes to this fight. But it's very true.
It's still a 50-50 fight. But I'm just going to keep talking myself into it being a 90-10 all week.
Okay, well, in terms of the work behind the scenes, let's have a little look into the training camp of Mr. Conor Benn?
Biz Curtis with Turkey. The problem was with Eddie. I'm not sure. This is what I want to know. I'm not sure why you said that. Because I said that they had a falling out on social media. So I want to ask you, did they not have a fallout on I want to know, I mean, because unless I lied, unless Shakur Stevenson didn't tweet and say that Turki went back on his word and he sent his middlemen, unless he didn't show that he felt disrespected by Turki on social media. Did I lie? Is there a alternate universe? Eddye Hearn leaning on Scott Nicholson in a birthday suit. Listen, miscommunication. Understood, right? I understand what you're saying, but you're not responding to what I said. I didn't say they didn't have a perceived clear up in public. I'm saying that they fell out on social media. So I don't want people, when I speak, I don't want people to add extra to what I said. I want you to take what I said as that literally. So let's do this step by step, like New Kids on the Block. Did they have a falling out on social media? That's just, because I got to help people, because people create something else I said in their brains. So respond to exactly what I said. No, I'm not saying you lied. Okay. So that's it. Number one, that's it. He fell out with Turki. The rest is us guessing. It was a misunderstanding, or it wasn't. Or Turki checked him. We don't know. In public, we know what was said, and we got to take it for that. But we can't stand here and just be like, we know for sure that it was just a misunderstanding. We don't know. No matter what. All I'm saying is what we do know. There was a fallout. Shakur had an issue. He has split from Matchroom, at least temporarily. And now on the undercard of Berlanga versus Shiraz. That's it. That there ain't even, I don't even add to that. Like, bingo, amigo. Like, that's it right there. You know, all the extra shit gotta be YN, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of times in the comments, people come with a response to something I didn't even say. It's like, let's take what we got. We got fat. Bam. Let's make that statement. Everything else, well, I don't think that's that. We got that. Boom. This is what we know. We have receipts on that. He apologized too. Bam. We have receipts on that. Now he's on the undercard split. Something's up. He's behind enemy lines, dog. Let me see. Tyson Bale. Bad Hands, Fat Knuckles, Josh Pad, Shakur and 5. Okay. Get a black too, sugar. Fact is, there was a falling out. Exactly. There was a falling out, and now Shakur versus William Zepeda is on the undercard of Berlanga versus okay. Let me help you out on this. Let me help you out on this. Berlanga last fight was a knockout. Was he the main event? Berlanga, the whole argument is that Berlanga became a star after Canelo Alvarez. Let me ask you. Berlanga last fight, was it the main event? Hold on. Who headlined over Berlanga? Larry said, don't worry about it. Bruh, Who headlined over Berlanga if he wasn't the main event? Damn, Ammo Williams. Fresh out of the Canelo fight, he couldn't headline over Ammo Williams, but Shakur Stevenson is on the undercard of a Berlanga versus Shiraz fight. This brother couldn't headline over Ammo damn Williams. All right, 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 all right. Y'all, I mean, these are just the facts. Y'all deal with it how y'all want. Let me see what Liam has to say. Let's see what he has.
Let it be Jesse. I beat Eubank in 1. I was horrendous in Eubank 2 because I left everything in the gym. I had a bad injury.
Girl.
I got forced upon a fight within 7 weeks I was never, ever ready for. That's my issue. I wasn't injured in the fight. It was just I left everything in the gym making weight. I thought to myself, if I make weight, I'll flatten Cris again. It didn't go that way, and I've been slaughtered for it. And I can't knock people for thinking I'm finished, but I can't really be finished with no miles.
Okay. But here's the thing. Charles Baker. Shakur be talking too damn much. When he do, he annoying, which I know he didn't mean the second he. All right. He ain't Missy Elliott over here. He have. But ShowBizz, do you still have the same opinion you did before Canelo ducking Benavidez? Yes. You need to watch my show more. Yes, I said it. I keep saying it. But here's the thing. The question isn't, is Shakur Stevenson likable? Because not being likable sell fights too. All right. It's not if you personally like what he says. It's if he should be the main event. And all I want to know is, I want you guys to tally up how many people are going to break down Berlanga versus Shiraz. Because other than a war room, not too many communities follow Shiraz. I want you to go into your local barbershop and say, have you ever heard the name Hamza Shiraz? They will be like, yeah, he was a conspirator of the assassination of Malcolm X. They will have no damn idea who Hamza Shiraz is. Let me see. Let's say if Tank and Shakur even ever fight, how much power would Shakur have in negotiations? I already spoke on that. That right there, him not being able to headline over Berlanga just wounded him big time on the negotiation table against, my bad, Larry, but you get what I'm trying to say. Hamza Shiraz is a decent name in the UK. Where are they fighting? I think he's more UK. Where are they fighting? New York City. Number 2, when is the last time you seen Shiraz headline a fight card in the UK? You ain't lying, Bill. I'm just trying to. When the last time you seen Hamza Shiraz headline in the UK? He's decent in the UK. When the last time you seen him never? Okay. I'll rest my case. Berlanga last fight, did he headline? No. Under who? Ammo Williams. I ain't got that kind of time. Because, brother, I ain't got that kind of time, bro. You know what I mean? So then YN comes up in here and talking about, well, you know, there was no falling out and no, hey, Jake, hey. Oh, you mother. Jake. Oh, you low down. It's a fire car though. Yeah, we've been getting some fire cars. Hold on, let's see what they have to say.
To this fight, this is born rivals, but it's a path that was paved by their fathers 35 years.
Kerr should hire Breland. It's time for the egg. I'll pull up.
Massive characters, so different, polar opposites. They're the perfect dance
You
partners.
low down,
You're either
dirty,
Team Cris
back,
or
whatever you
Team
said.
There was no in between.
Shakur
Here
got
you had
fooled.
two diametrically opposed individuals.
Hold on.
On the one hand,
Hold on. Shakur got booed in Saudi, and they don't even make a ruckus when excited. That says everything. Why he's on the undercard. I hear you on that. Hold on, but he's not in Saudi. I agree with you. Something up. I'm just saying he's been talking shit to the wrong people, so they making an example of him. All I'm saying, yeah, he said F the fans, and I told y'all, you say F the fans gonna say F you back. I said it. You're not bigger than boxing. You're not bigger than the fan base. You're not. The fans are the ones who feed you. All right. Let me see. Berlanga, he's in New York. Berlanga in New York sells. Yeah, absolutely. Too bad that you're not just trying to sell tickets across the world. Too bad you're also trying to get pay-per-view buys. So in order to get pay-per-view buy, listen, bro, listen. Let me break this down. Let me break this down, dog. Eubank Sr. nostrils are diabolical as hell. They're like bat wings, bro. Let me run this by you real quick. Let me run this by you real quick, bro. Let me help y'all out. Okay? Let me help y'all out. The thing is, Shakur being on the undercard has nothing to do with money and what sells. It has nothing to do with money, and if it did, Shakur would be the main event. Why? Once again, leading up to the fight, I want y'all to look at how many breakdowns are going to be about Shakur and Zepeda, and how many breakdowns are going to be about Berlanga and Shiraz. That's going to let you know which matchup people are mostly interested in. That's going to let you know which matchup, Berlanga versus Shiraz or Shakur versus Zepeda, which matchup are people most interested in. Let's see who gets more views. A breakdown between Berlanga and Shiraz, or a breakdown between Shakur and Zepeda. Because if it was Berlanga and Shiraz, I would have done that breakdown this morning. It is Shakur versus Zepeda. This is not about sales. You want to know how I know? Here, Conor Benn. So I'm going to make this last point. You want to know how I know? Because His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh rented out Times Square with no ticket sales. So making money isn't a thing. He can afford Shakur to be on the undercard. He can afford him not being the apple card, bro. That's the black two sugars. He can afford it. He can afford it. Turki Al-Sheikh was like, we want knockouts. Shakur ain't gonna be knocking Zepeda out. At least I don't think. So we want to end the fight card on a knockout. I'm telling you, bro. Let me see. Gifted 5 ShowBizz adult memberships. Love you, boy. Listen, he wants to end the night on a knockout, and he believes Shiraz and Berlanga can do that. Plus, he has a lot of faith in Shiraz. And when my man brought up he wants to see Shiraz against Canelo in that 5-fight deal, that's the black two sugars. Trying to catch a body. What kind of body? A J body. That's the black two sugars. All right, here we go. Here we go. Come on, y'all, because I got to go.
See, they're always in big fights because they're big names. But for Conor Benn, this is his biggest fight, and it'll be Eubank's biggest fight. But he's boxing.
I swore Floyd was undercard. I don't remember that.
He's more used to this.
I don't remember that.
Conor,
but
by a million miles, by the way. So
HLD, Biz on point. It's on point. HLD and not in GRAN for some reason.
I guess what I keep saying.
I guess we somehow figured it out.
We focused on that.
We both figured out boxing, bro. I think me and HLD ended up figuring out.
All the noise can get
Plur. Plur.
Carl Froch said when he boxed in Wembley.
Come on, y'all. I gotta go.
That almost sort of.
I gotta pick up my baby. I ain't got that kind of time. Let me see. I I need to change my name, huh? No, for real though. I'm with you all the way, Biz. I come to you for most of my boxing information. But I seen another guy talk about how Eddie was being a bad promoter. Middleman. I don't think, listen, man. Listen, I don't think it's okay. All right. I don't think it's that. All right. Dude, when you start rubbing everybody wrong, man, Shakur's on an island by his damn self. When you start rubbing everybody wrong, bruh, let me tell you this. All I'm saying is my breakdown, Zepeda volume punch, dude, that is Shakur's. He can't have a hurt hand at all that fight. I'll tell you that. Because if he's wincing, he ain't going to be able to run. And if he's running around and not throwing punches and running and slipping and running, that ain't going to win the fight. He's going to have to whoop Zepeda's ass. That's all I'm saying. But y'all don't see it. It's all good. Hit type bell. I know YN sees it. I get that. But I'm just saying, other than YN, I got you, brother. It ain't. What I'm saying is he's behind enemy lines, dog. Let me see. Towel Boys was crazy. Hold on. Everybody, please make sure you hit the like. Here.
But nerves are good. You need them to give you the edge. I think,
my man looked like the Mino line from the Wiz.
Helps. So being tight on the way
Fact.
makes you look at edgy, and you need that little bit of thing. So nerves can help you, but they can also consume you. And there's a big valid point.
That brother looks like the Mino line, dog. Eddie is great. Come on, funny. Eddie's
emotionally.
Eddie's amazing.
You just think you feel it. Oh, I know how I should act. Oh, I should feel.
But Eddie doesn't know.
Yourself. It has to be very organic how you feel.
Listen, bro.
If you're trying to pretend
it reminds me of Terrence Bud Crawford and Bob Arum. Eddie doesn't know how to move Shakur. Okay? Because Shakur produces what he produces, the type of fights he produced, the type of response from fans he produced, the type of response from social media, the money, the numbers, he produced what he produced. But Shakur demands what he demands. He feels very highly about his abilities. So you're at a crossroad of business and expectation. And bruh, that's very tough. And if Eddie Hearn isn't moving in a way that Shakur expects for his level of talent and what he's already achieved, he's going to have a problem with it. And Eddie's going to be talking numbers, and he's going to be talking about, what's feasible and what he can measure, and it's going to be on. That's funny. Money. Turki is making an example of Shakur, showing us he's the lion, like he said. Y'all think Turki is nice? Let my ass off. He got rich for a reason, bro, under a bloodstained government. Brother. I'm just saying, hold on. Eubank looking like Kenny Lattimore. Yeah. All I'm saying is, I'm not sure about all that, but Turki is definitely letting the whole boxing world know boxing over boxer. Right? So, bruh, the money, him making money is definitely not his motivation here. He's trying to shape the sport in a way that he prefers. Everybody diabolical and fighting, and we're going to find out season. You seeing a lot of upsets. When he stepped on the scene, him, Eddie Hearn together, you seeing upsets like crazy, bro. Let me see. Whenever Turki decides to leave boxing, it'll be like an economy no longer being backed up by U.S. government. It will hit we will be in a hard spot. We definitely look at all the shit we're getting with Turki involved. Yeah, because even look what Boots did. He agreed to take less money to make Stanionis. Kerr would do some like shit, and Boots more exciting than him. See what I'm saying? Oh, look, hey, look, is that Shalom and Eddie Hearn? Check this out. Let's go.
Eddie, you promoted a lot of big shows in England, obviously with Anthony Joshua, a lot of fights at Wembley Stadium. How does this fight between Eubank and Benn stack up?
Well, this is the biggest fight in British boxing outside of the heavyweight division since Froch and Groves. But this has something very different. This has an appeal to all kinds of demographics, all kinds of age groups. Everyone knew their fathers and everyone knows who they are. This is the greatest rivalry in the history of British boxing.
Yeah,
Eubank Benn,
agreed.
3, really, if you want to call it. But just a massive event sold out at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and a real important moment for British boxing and these two fighters.
And look, this fight obviously was meant to happen a few years ago, but it feels like it's a lot bigger now with all the buildup, right?
Yeah, of course. Look, the narrative was there originally. Now you've got 2 years of bad blood. You know, the controversy, the build-up this week as well. But it's a great fight. You know, I said before, people talking about their fathers, of course, they're two of the biggest legends of British boxing. But these are two world-class fighters in their respective divisions. And our boy is just looking sensational, ready to do the business.
Okay. I say he's looking great. He's obviously moving up 2 weight classes. How do you think he's going to look on fight night?
I think he's going to look sensational. I've never seen anyone put work like this in training camp. I've never seen him sharper. I've never seen him more focused. He wins by knockout on Saturday night. There's no question in my mind, the team's mind.
Dude, I am nervous right now.
A demolition job from Conor Benn on Saturday night.
I can't wait to see the weigh-in.
Eddie and Ben, if we could please have you stand together for photos.
Cris Eubank should miss weight. Cris Eubank should miss weight, take the fine, and make sure he's healthy for the fight.
Yeah, two of the biggest punches in British boxing history right there.
Wow.
I paid to watch it though.
I would. Aside. Would you, Darren? Would that sell out the O2?
Who wins?
Everybody keep talking about how Eddye Hearn can fight. I don't.
Listen,
maybe
Ben. I think Ben's a mover. I'm telling you.
I don't be saying it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our main event this Saturday, scheduled 12 rounds.
Yeah, Turki and Eddie in great
the middleweight division. Let's first welcome from Ilford, London, England.
Eddie brought Turki to the world.
Undefeated with 23 wins, 14 of his 23 wins coming by way of knockout. Let's welcome the undefeated former WBA Continental Champion, Conor the Destroyer Benn.
Here we go then. One side of your main event. Here comes Conor. And I mean, you have to listen to the way he spoke in the build-up to this one. He said
he can't afford another egg.
Simple. Hop, skip, right hand to the temple, left hook to the body. Good night, Cris Eubank Jr. He's keeping his cards close to his chest anyway, Jim.
I think he's going to come out all guns blazing. There's going to be education behind it, but the fire that this man has, similar to his dad, is going to be so evident on Saturday night. Don't blink, because this man holds center of the ring and he lets bombs go for as long as this lasts.
Conor, you're a natural welterweight, moving up 2 weight classes. In your middleweight debut, you're fighting one of the best in the world. How strong are you feeling?
Yeah, listen, I mean, it don't concern me in the slightest. You know, I prepared hard.
Yeah, he looks
huge.
Everything
I possibly can in the gym. I've left no stone unturned. So for me, I look at him, I ain't really too concerned. You know, I beat him anyway.
This has been a really heated promotion, a lot of bad blood. Is it personal?
Yeah, it's always personal. Every opponent I fight is personal. People want to say it's strictly business. It ain't business.
Yeah, you mean like you're damn bad.
You're trying to put your hands on me and render me unconscious. It's never business. It's always personal. Every single one of my opponent, but this one has a little bit more history to it, should we say?
Yeah, you know, 30 years in the making, you might say, and you're going to fight him on Saturday at Tottenham. How badly do you want to get your hands on him?
Yeah, badly. I mean, I wish I'd done already. I wish I was fighting tonight. You know, so unfortunately we got to wait a few more days, but you know, ultimately all the hard work's done. I'm excited to go in there and do a number on him.
And what's your prediction?
As soon as I get my hands on him, he'll know what's up.
Thank you, and best of luck.
I'm concerned about Conor Benn's power. I don't know how much power he's going to have.
And now let's welcome from Brighton, England. He has a professional record of 34 wins, 3 defeats. 25 of those 34 wins come by way of knockout. He is the former WBA interim world champion and current IBO middleweight world champion and ranked number 5 by Ring Magazine. Here is Cris Eubank Jr.
Here
we go then.
Hilarious, man.
Cris Eubank Jr. makes his brand arrival into fight week. Says this is about cementing.
It must be freezing cold out there, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Conor Benn, he's told us that's it, Barry, that he'll sail off into the sunset. We won't see him again. Why add that type of pressure on your own shoulders already on a stage like this?
Until the rematch.
Yeah, Jake.
But,
I agree.
Very true.
No, but listen, I think if he loses to Conor Benn, we won't see him again. I mean, after the rematch, we won't see him again. I mean, what's he got to fight for? You've had a great career, there's plenty of money, and he's been a success. But this is a lot of pressure.
Cris, fight many years in the making. You're the naturally bigger guy, 160 pounds, middleweight, and you're fighting Conor Benn coming up 2 weight classes. How much of an advantage do you think you have in the size, strength, and power department?
I keep hearing this 2 weight classes thing. He's not coming up 2 weight classes. His last fight was at 156 pounds. He's putting 4 pounds on. He hasn't been a welterweight for 3 years. This fight isn't about size or weight. It's about skill. It's about dedication. It's about expertise. And all those areas I excel in and have got many, many more years of experience over Conor Benn, and that will be the deciding factor on the night.
Well, yeah, you're certainly the most experienced opponent of Conor Benn's career. Do you think your skills are going to be too much? Your jab, your power?
Again, it's this isn't any one attribute. I'm a complete fighter. I've been doing this for so long now. I've forgotten more things than he knows, and that will show on the night. The experience, the dedication, and the will. These will be the deciding factors.
It's been a really heated promotion. You're already fined by the British Boxing Board of Control. Can we expect to see any more shenanigans from you in this promotion?
Shenanigans? I don't do shenanigans. I do what I believe is right, and I do what I want to do. If you guys think there's shenanigans, then that's fair enough. I'm just being me.
And lastly, you've talked a lot about your desire to fight Canelo Alvarez at some point. What kind of statement are you looking to make on Saturday as you look into that fight?
The procedure will be parliamentary. That's the only thing I can see the outcome of this fight. Everything will go the way I want it to go. I will be like a matador in that ring, and Conor Benn will be the bull.
Thank you, and best of luck.
Fighters, please face off at this time.
Hey, bruh. Y'all got to get ahead of it. Y'all got to get ahead of that.
Yes, our
y'all got to get ahead of that.
Event Saturday, scheduled 12 rounds in the middleweight division. The undefeated Conor the Destroyer Benn versus Cris Eubank Jr.
Dude, that reminds me of Tyson and Lennox Lewis having to stare down way in the back.
Bit of a gap
Tyson just
this
ran
time
at
round, gents, on that face-off. No risks being taken here this close to the fight.
No, rightly so. I mean, it's all fun and games.
Man,
You look to see him go ahead.
I'm rooting for Conor, but I got Cris, man.
There's always jeopardy and a risk that the fight doesn't happen. So I think keeping that distance, and it adds to the intrigue, though, doesn't it? Look at Conor Benn.
Stone cold.
But you know what they said and the way they acted is just what we expect now. So there's no real shock there. Still menacing and articulate, I would say, against Conor Benn. And Cris Eubank is always very articulate, of course, and dismissive. I think that's the story of the fight and the story of their personality.
Cris Eubank ain't got no glass.
It will be parliamentary, I believe.
Damn, man.
We are going to be joined by Mr. Cris Eubank Jr. momentarily, which is fantastic.
Conor got that short shit on it.
Any questions lined up, Darren?
Yeah, I have, and it's how they certainly Cris Eubank. That's who we're going to be speaking to.
Man. Stop it.
Dream about the fight since the moment the fight is announced. You're dreaming about that fight every
Thank you very much for joining
I'm
us,
intrigued
ladies and
to
gentlemen.
see
We will see you
how
tomorrow.
he sees the fight playing out in those dreams.
Yo, Biz. Hey,
he looked big there.
Hey,
you know, I must
here's
say.
my thing. Here's my thing. Before Cris Eubank, you guys, somebody brought up Boots, all right? And how Boots took that pay cut. I don't think people really understand the whole Boots and Brian Norman thing. That fight would have been as easy to make as Boots versus Stanionis if there was no Karen. Bruh, Corinne threw everything off. because they had to pay him to step aside $300,000. That money they couldn't use to give to Brian Norman Jr., which he deserved. He deserved more than the money that they offered because he's champion. The fact he could do that with Stan Jonas in the second fight because he knocked off Corinne. So he didn't have nobody to pay, so they had more money to play with, and they were able to make the fight with Stan Jonas. Hold on.
Let's look, Chris, here we go. Fight week. The second time you've been in a fight week with Conor Benn, but being here, seeing the media, knowing the attention that is on this fight, truly what is going through the mind of Cris Eubank Jr. a few sleeps away now?
I'm calm. I'm very
calm.
at peace with where I am in my life and where I am in this fight. I really do believe that everything I envision, everything that I have trained for will come to fruition. So I'm at peace. I'm calm. I'm grateful to be here. I'm happy. I don't have any chips on my shoulder, as Conor Benn always points out. I don't have any frustrations. I don't have any ill will towards people. I just want to go out there and have fun.
And in terms of your prediction, we just heard you up there. You said the procedure will be parliamentary.
Absolutely.
How does that look?
Domination in every department you can imagine, whether it's boxing, whether it's a gunfight, defense, offense, foot movement, speed, power. I am the superior boxer, pugilist in each of those departments, and so many
I haven't
more,
seen anything from Cris Eubank.
so
I've seen a
confident,
lot
which is why
from
I'm
Conor
so
Benn, so
relaxed,
I don't know
which is
what
why
Cris
I'm so
Eubank been
happy.
doing over there.
How has this camp, Chris, compared to others in the past? Has there been more fire in the eyes?
Say that's a sheen for a coach.
I guess you could say that. I guess you could say there's been more fire in my soul, in my spirit, in my mindset. This is the biggest fight of my career. This is the most important fight.
He really thinks
to date,
before he talks,
which is
and that
very
more people need to
rare
do that.
for a
Cris Eubank
35-year-old
looks
fighter.
like he's pitching,
Usually a
big
35
time.
fighter's careers are behind
What
them.
the hell is he wearing? I
Mine
mean,
is, I'm still going up and up.
In terms of the motivation,
He
Chris,
got-
for this
he got
fight behind
swag,
the scenes, how
dog.
do you compare
They got
the
swag.
motivation and the drive to beat Conor Benn in comparison with the fear of losing to Conor Benn? How have you balanced that out in your mindset?
Do I look like I'm scared to you?
No.
Well, there you go. There is no
Damn.
balance.
I'm scared.
right. Chris Eubank scared. Damn.
Forget about
He
Conor
turned my
Benn,
man
you
face red.
making
And
160
I'm scared.
after being 168 and coming back down to 160. But you look really healthy today.
Well, the weight cut doesn't really come into play.
Chris
The
got
serious
swag.
weight cut doesn't really come
He got
into play
swag.
until a day or
Chris
two
will take your check.
before.
If Chris
the
walked up
fight.
like that and
So,
was speaking like that,
this
he'd
is
turn
where
off the
you're kind
radio.
of starting to deplete. But the main stuff happens 24 hours before the weigh-in. I will look like a different man at that
As we
point
all
in
do,
time,
yeah, of course.
and I will feel like a different man. You know how it goes. But as of right now, I feel good.
Just very quickly, obviously, when this fight was announced, I'm sure you've dreamt about it.
That
plenty of
reminds me of
times.
when George Foreman
that
was talking
dream,
to an interviewer.
how
He
does
was
the
like, "I
fight
beg your
play
pardon."
out?
When he said, "What? How you feel Ali
He
won?"
doesn't
He's like,
touch
"I
me.
beg your pardon."
I impose my will. I do everything that I want to do, and I dispose of him when I'm good and ready.
Doesn't go the distance.
Absolutely not. It's impossible for this fight to go 12 rounds.
Are you expecting him, as many are, when we see Conor, he always seems fired up, especially when he sees you, Chris. When that bell rings, is that what you're expecting for Conor Benn, just to come flying at you from the other
George,
side?
you take
Maybe.
it. You take it, lady.
I hope he does for the fans' sake. He says that's what he's going to do. It's going to take a lot of balls to approach me like that. But if he does, wow, this is going to be, fight of the year contender.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I think it may be fight of the year contender anyway.
Let's not say if, when you get the win against Conor Benn, where does your story go from there? At your age now, most as you said,
Canelo.
most fighters would be
They already
tapering
talking about
down
him
or
versus
even
Canelo,
thinking
which is
about
diabolical.
a step out of the door. But you seem to think that you've got a lot more years left. So
I believe I do. I really do. The opportunities are there. The opponents are there. The titles are there. So this just puts me on a level to where I can get all these fights made like that. There's always been politics in the past. It's been hard to make fights. It's been hard to get fights. after a win like this in a fight which is, you know, it's surpassed what boxing is. Now it's mainstream. You win a fight like this, you can fight whoever you want after that, you know?
And that Eubank supremacy, that's what you've said throughout the whole build-up, cementing the Eubank name, upholding the family name, ultimately, is that all what comes with the victory as well?
Keeping the Eubank name that little bit in front of the Benn name.
Damn.
I'm not greedy. Doesn't have to be miles, but we have to be on top.
Paul.
They cannot get a win over us.
Damn.
I have to respect my father's history, his legacy, what he achieved in his career. I can't let him down. I can't let myself down, and I can't let my fans down. This is a deeply personal and important fight for me, and I can't wait.
Chris, we wish you the very best of luck on Saturday night. We hope we get to speak to you as well as the countdown to fight night continues. Ice in the veins then of Cris Eubank Jr. Maybe not so much for myself. After that look in the eyes, I'm certainly sweating.
Yeah, after looking at, he's still thinking about that. Dude scared as hell.
What else is coming your way this week?
Jr. Have the same.
We'll be back with the media workout tomorrow, 6 p.m. here in London, 1 p.m. Eastern time over in the States. And then, of course, the final press conference.
Hold on, y'all.
6 p.m. here in London and 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Because I want to get a closing
we'll continue with the weigh-in on Friday and then fight night.
I should have been out there, but I'm happy I'm able to call a fight with you.
And I mean, we simply cannot wait, can we? And this weekend, of course, the
okay, I think that's it.
On Saturday night, so much to look forward to. A 35-year family feud in front of a sellout crowd at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Because they didn't say Conor Benn was showing up, right? They just said Cris Eubank.
Also, cruiserweight world champion Chris Camozzi takes on Andrea Italian Thunder Bishi at BKFC 73 over in Italy. Dream Boxing brings us Adrian Krasnicki versus Diego Ramirez on Saturday night. Plus, Kurt Scobie will take on Jesus Vasquez
Right, I'm a little tripped on that.
From New Jersey, USA. And just remember, you can keep up to date with all the events on offer.
Is the War Room in there? No, dog, y'all got to show the War Room.
Going to the schedule section where you'll find all the live
Where's
action,
the War Room at?
including, of course, the big one this weekend.
Where's the War Room?
Live on Design Worldwide.
Okay. Here, this is what I want to say. Here's what I want to say. All right, I'm gonna be placing a bet for sure. Also, I'm giving away the autographed boxing gloves. 2 autographed boxing gloves to 2 winners of autographed by Big George Foreman. I will be giving these boxing gloves away. I have 2 of them. All right. So you guys, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Tell everybody, hit the like button. Tell everybody to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you subscribe. And you also, not only must you be a subscriber to be a lucky winner, you also have to follow my bookie on Instagram. The link should be in the description box below. If not, go to Real My Bookie on Instagram. Make sure you follow them and subscribe here and say me in the comments. And if you've already done that, you're fine. And you could be a lucky winner of one of the Big George Foreman autographed boxing gloves. I will be calling the Cris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight this weekend. Hit the Tyson bell. Next week, don't forget, next week, I have my live show.
Who is that? What's his name? ShowBizz, soul brother #1, and I'm in this bitch. Who is that?
At the City Winery in New York. Doors open at 6. The show starts at 7:30. Get your tickets in the link in the description box below. There are still some tickets available. We're trying to sell this out so we can start going global. If we don't sell it out, all right, we won't be able to have our tour. But this first one is so important. You guys, please make sure you show up. I will be doing a live podcast, so to speak. We will have guests. I will have giveaways. We will play games. I'll tell jokes. We'll talk about the fights the next day for sure with our predictions. And I'll be talking to the War Room. Hopefully we'll get like a Q&A and you guys can start saying how you feel up in the War Room. All right, and you guys can meet each other. I'm really looking forward to meeting you guys on that. Now, I want to say this. That's a hit, though. It's the shit. I want to say this too. I want to say this before I go.
Oh! Conor again with that left hook!
Not happening as frequently as it needs to happen.
Oh, and he's got him right to catch it right now, and Ryan Garcia.
The strength.
Whoa!
I show that to say, after seeing it again, there were fundamental things that Ryan did implement in order to beat Haney. The whole idea that Haney was outboxing him and the boxer and Ryan Garcia was just on Osterine throwing a bunch of big punches is not true. Systematically, he was putting that stick out there, pause, and hooking off of it, did it again, hooked off of it, was successful there, did it again, and at the end landed the right hand. He is doing shit. And the reason why I say that is because you don't want Devin the American Dream Haney to go into the rematch if he gets past Ramirez saying it was just the Osterine. That's the same mistake that Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder made when he said it was just the gloves, the egg-shaped form, and my water being tainted or whatever, and all spiked water and all this shit, right? Then he went out there and got knocked out clean, like the last time. All right, you have to look to see what he's doing and prepare for that shit, because Ryan Garcia isn't just swinging away. He is doing shit. And I've been saying that for a while. But if you have an attitude about it, like he ain't doing nothing, then, bruh, it doesn't change the fact that he's going to mess around and systematically whip your ass and set you up for a left hook, or maybe set up his straight right that nobody is talking about, and that straight right is dynamite as well. While you're worried about that left hook, he will set that up and hit you with a straight right and knock your teeth down your throat. All right, so there's a lot of things you got to prepare for if you want to take it seriously. Hit the Tyson bell. Last thing I'm going to say about Boots and the Brian Norman Jr. thing, and you guys talking about how Brian Norman priced himself out at 1.7 million. I do want to say that I was a part of that whole thing, of those negotiations. I was very much, I didn't negotiate with them, but I was told things and I thought about things and I gave my 2 cents. I promise you, that's not a lie. Okay. I wasn't negotiating, but I knew every damn step that was going on there. All right. I thought from the very beginning, like I felt about Shakur versus Tank. I didn't think Tank versus Shakur was ready yet. Brian Norman Jr. becoming a champion, WBO champion, after beating Santillan wasn't enough for people to really believe that he's a true threat against Boots. He had to be respected as a champion. So he needed to defend his titles. He looked great against Cuevas. Now it's like, oh shit. No one felt that way like that against Santillan. Now you follow that up with Cuevas. You get him another fight where he looks that good. Now that fight can really be what it should be. Shakur Stevenson was coming off of a win where people booed and walked out. Before that was the worst fight in championship history. So he couldn't follow those two up and try to sit at the negotiation table against Tank. The fight was not ready yet. All right. I feel the same regardless of if you think Norman ducked or if you think Boots ducked, or it doesn't matter. The matchup itself just wasn't ready yet. Hit the Tyson bell. So I'm happy they didn't have a fight. Pause. I'm in for 44 months. Bye. So thank you guys for showing up and showing out. ShowBizz the Adult. Of course, tomorrow we have the hump day. Bye. Thursday, we have a video. Friday, we have the Facts Friday, and we will be calling the fight, man, all day for Conor Benn and Cris Eubank. That right there, I've been looking forward to that forever. I'm happy you guys were able to sit through when we entered the Zone War Room and watched the grand arrivals. I will be doing the same thing tomorrow, the final press conference. I hope to do the same thing for the weigh-in. All right? Hit the Tyson bell. I think that was a media workout, right? Well, I'm out. Oh, my goodness. Fire show. Love you, boy.